Okay, hello everyone at home. We're having tons of fun. We just listened to solar eclipse music, and we are pumped about this day. Hope you are too. So, quick note, you have a vocab quiz tomorrow. I posted the answers to that sheet on Google Classroom. Okay, so study it. You're going to have this first thing in the morning, vocab quiz. Any of the vocab you didn't know, you are going to learn today. So, here we go. The first part, it's all about angle measures and knowing how to name angles. So the first part you already know, it's part of a line, which is a ray. We learned that earlier. It's a ray. It has one endpoint and extends indefinitely in one direction. So how you name the ray, remember you have to start at the endpoint. So this next blank is endpoint. In these examples right here, they're naming all the ways you can name this ray. I wanted to emphasize, you can't really see it, but that is an arrow on the end. So you can name it ray MP, you can just name it NP with the symbol, you can name it ray MO, or MO with the symbol, as long as you start at the endpoint, which is M. So, in order to make an angle, you have two rays. So the next one is an angle is formed by two non-collinear rays that have a common endpoint. What is that common endpoint called? Vertex. But wait, I skipped one. The rays are the sides of the angle. And then the common endpoint is the vertex. So the sides are right here, and then your vertex. So this is the part of an angle. You have this ray, side XY, you have side XZ, and then the vertex is X. So when naming the angles using three letters, the vertex has to be in the middle. We've kind of already gone over all of this. The vertex must be the second, or aka the middle. So this one right here, there's four ways to name this angle. You can name it, remember, just using the vertex. You could use angle X, which is just the vertex. You can name it with all 3 points, but you have to start on one of these sides. You can't start with the vertex. So this could be angle YXZ, angle ZXY, or what? Angle, what's this number right here? 3. So, vertex, number, or either of the sides, as long as you start. Not there. Yeah. So if you're naming it using 3, you have to start and go where the vertex is in the middle. So you start on one of these two sides. Okay, so in this next picture, an angle divides a plane into 3 parts. So here, this angle divides it into 3 parts. Or is that just supposed to be 2? It's just 2. Okay, so if you look, points Q, M, and N, oh, that's what it was talking about. 3 was because it's actually on the angle. Okay, so if that confused you, you can just say 2. But the third one it's referring to is the actual angle itself. So that was the third one. But it's cool if you just want to say 2. Okay, so points S and R. Those are, so here's your angle. Anything inside the angle, so anything that's kind of shaded, is considered the interior. You can remember interior because it kind of goes with inside. They're inside the angle. Anything that's on the outside of the angle is laying in the exterior. So you have interior and exterior. Which is considered outside. But let me show you real quick. Y'all don't have to flip back. But do you see, like, how do y'all know which one's inside and which one's outside? Well, you see how the white, that angle is larger than 180 degrees. So I'm talking about the inside that's right here. Most of the time it's just shaded. That's how you know. So now we're going to learn how to name all of the kinds of vertex and sides and angles using these figures. So in this first one, name the vertex of angle 4. Well, here is angle 4. What's its vertex? U. Okay. Name the sides of angle 3. Well, here's angle 3. So if I start at the vertex, because I'm naming the sides.
Miss Jenkins?
Yes, ma'am.
We have Aaron Long to check out.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so if this is angle 3, and we want to name the sides, you're naming rays. So we have to use it like we're naming a ray. So here, this ray is XW. And then the other side of angle 3 is XU. So those are the two sides. Do you notice how they both start with X, which is the vertex? Okay. What's another name for angle 2? Here's angle 2. What else can we call it? Angle Y. Or couldn't I call it XYU? No? Why not? But Y, the vertex is in the middle. That's okay. The vertex is in the middle. So you could use X, Y, U, or flip that. It could be angle U, Y, X. Y'all following me? Am I going too fast? Okay. Number 4. What's another name for UXY? Bye, Aaron. UXY. So U to X to, Y, this way. UXY. So that's this angle. So I could name it angle 1. Or, if I didn't even want to look at this figure, and I know it says angle UXY, isn't X just the vertex? So I could just name it angle X without even looking at the picture. Okay, I want y'all to take a few minutes and answer these right here, all the way down to name a point exterior. All right, so the first one's name the vertex of each angle. So if you find 3, it's right here, so the vertex is C. 8. This one kind of, you have to be very careful because look, here's 8. And what's the first letter you see when you look at 8? I think of J, but that's not the vertex. That's this point right here. So the actual vertex of 8 is G. Name the sides of each angle. I'm not even going to look at the figure. Sides of each angle, well, isn't G your vertex? Okay, well, my sides are G, F, and G, D. Right? Because that's each side. So if you want to look, you can. Here's D, G, F. Well, ray GF and ray GD. Okay, so 2 should have been G, H, and G, J. Write another name for each angle. BCA, well, I know that's angle C without even looking, right? What number was that? Did y'all use a number for BCA? 1? Yeah, I agree. And then angle 9 is right here. So that's either angle G or angle FGH or angle HGF. And then 3, EDG. Here's E to D to G. That's angle 5 or angle D. All right, DGH. D to G to H. So right here, which one was interior? F. Because D to G to H. So inside is F. Exterior to H, G, J. Well, if this is the inside, anything that's not in the inside is the outside. So couldn't I have named like F, E, D, A, B, C? Any of those. F, E, D, A, B, C. Carson, will you open the door, please? Thank you. Will you just put it over there? All right, so have y'all ever heard of this little thing before? Yes, Carson. Let me look. D, G. Yes, yes, for E. Okay, have y'all heard of this little thing before? Protractor. Protractor, yes. So angles, this is a vocab word for your quiz tomorrow. Angles are measured in units called degrees. When we talk about angles, we talk about degrees. 90 degrees, 180 degrees. We use a protractor to measure an angle. Okay, so these 3 are also on your vocab quiz tomorrow. A right angle is 90 degrees. An acute angle is less than 90. So equal to 90, less than 90. Obtuse is in between 90 and 180. So here's what we have to learn. Here's your protractor. Now, without even measuring, what kind of angle is this? Acute, right? So the instructions say measure and then classify it. But I can classify it before I even measure it. So this is an acute angle. Now, let's see how many degrees it is. Here's how this works. You see this little hole right there? Put that on your vertex. So remember, here's your vertex. It's in between the 2 angles. One thing you might want to do if it doesn't extend far enough is you can take a rule, or even your protractor right here, put it against the angle and then continue that line, because sometimes it's not long enough. So if I put the vertex right here, and you see this little black line, make this line right here equal with your line that's going right here. So it should be on the vertex and then even that line up. So how many degrees is this? 70. Now there's 2 lines of numbers, but obviously it's not 110 because it's not greater than 90. So this is 70 degrees. Okay, now what is this without even measuring it?
Obtuse.
Obtuse. So now let's measure it. I'm going to extend my angle just so I can see it better. Whoops. What do y'all think? 120. 120 degrees. Okay, so using this diagram below, we need to classify each angle as right, acute, or obtuse. And then use a protractor to measure it. So it tells you you might want to extend the rays to help you better measure it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so angle CF to D. So that's this angle right here, CFD. So you can use this protractor using either side, as long as it's on the vertex. Are y'all with me? Okay, so how many degrees approximately is this angle? 40, which means it's what kind? Acute. Okay, try the next three. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Are y'all getting something close to the numbers that I have?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Oh, I measured that one wrong. I think I used AFC. You're right. Yeah, if it has that square, you don't even have to do it. Okay, so now this one is up to 90 is right, and then 25 is acute. I think I did AFC on accident. Okay, on the bottom, angles that have the same measure are called congruent angles. They're the same, they're congruent. So remember how I told you we use arcs and dashes? So on this figure, if one of these has one arc and it's 65, and this one has one arc, then it's also 65. So let me ask you this though. Without looking at this top figure, how many degrees is a straight line?
180.
180. And I know that this is 65, so can I find this? 180 minus 65, which is 115. Okay, so that was just for practice. We'll be doing that a lot. So if this one is 2 arcs and it's 115, then this one is also 115 because it has 2 arcs. All right, almost done. So remember how we made bisectors on our line segments? You also can bisect an angle. So a ray, that divides an angle into 2 congruent angles. So if it makes it into 2 congruent angles, it's called an angle bisector. That's on your quiz tomorrow. Angle bisector. It bisects an angle into 2 congruent pieces. So in this explanation, if YW is the bisector, then these 2 pieces are congruent. So if I know one's 80, then the other one's 80. And together they make 160. Okay, so in this figure, BA and BC are opposite, aka that's just telling you it's a line, because opposite rays make a line. BF bisects CBE. So here I know that BF bisects CBE. So can I put an angle or a rainbow on 3 and 4? That means they're the same, because BF bisects it. If it bisects it, then these two are the same. So in number 1, E to B to F is equal to 6x plus 4. So this angle is 6x plus 4. CBF, which is angle 4, is 7x minus 2. And now they want us to find what the measure of EBF is. Well, these two are equal. Yeah, they're the same. They're congruent. So just set them equal to each other to solve for x. Did you get 6? Okay, so now let's plug it in. What is the measure of EBF? Well, EBF was 6 and then x, so plug in your 6 plus 4. So the measure of angle EBF is 36 plus 4, which is 40 degrees. Degrees, that's your unit, degrees. Okay, try the next one. Now, remember, these start over. So if it's telling you something, ignore what I wrote on here for the first time. Each problem starts over. So measure 3 is 6y plus 2, and 4 is 8y minus 14. Same thing. Except we're finding CBE, which is both of those combined. So let's solve for y. Okay, but I want to know CBE, which is both of those. So let's plug it in just to find 1. So it's 8. 8 times 6 is 48 plus 2 is 50. Right? Y'all following me? So if one of these is 50, CBE, from C to B to E, that's both of those. So if one's 50, then the other one has to be 50, which makes angle CBE equal to how much? 100. Okay, try 3. So here is the thing on this one. It told you that angle 1 and 2 were congruent. And that together, ABE, so here's 1 and 2, and they're the same. But ABE is equal to 100 degrees. Well, if the whole thing's 100, each one is how much? 50. Well, here is ABB. A to B to D, this is angle 1. So there's more than one way to do this, but the easiest way is to know, well, together they equal 100, divide it by 2, and separately they're 50. So I'm going to set this equal to 50 and solve for R. which then technically you don't even have to plug this back in because you already know ABD is 50. Okay? Alright, so y'all have a couple of minutes. If you're at home, finish 1 through 16 even. This is everybody, even if you're here. 1 through 16 even. Don't forget, I'm going to check tomorrow your homework from 1-3 and 1-4. I told first period to do 1 through 20 even. So tomorrow, I'm checking two things. 1.3, 1 through 20 even. 1.4, 1 through 16 even. And you have your quiz. Busy day.